Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. How's everyone doing today? Sound off in the chat. Smash the like button on your way in. Guys, hey, happy Thursday. Bitcoin, $92,369.41. The wick right here actually went through our liquidation points that we had set up last night, which I found kind of interesting because why would they wick down and then come right back up if they're not planning on going higher? So that was kind of a little bit of copium there that I enjoyed. Let's get our liquidation heat map points on the board. 91,524. That is below. And then we got, I'm going to go right here, 98.84. And then the bottom of that bad boy goes all the way down to 89,960. And then up top, we've got 92,876. And then the tippy top, we'll go right here, 93,729. All right. So that is our liquidation map at the moment. Looking pretty chill. We did get a bearish cross over the moving average on the RSI today, actually. So we'll see if that continues to play out. It does look like we might linger. I would not be surprised if we got another cross back over. And then if we just keep doing this game until we get a move one direction or the other. I actually wouldn't mind the RSI going down while the price just lingers sideways. That'd be kind of cool. Give us further setup for upside. Bitcoin dominance, 59.32. I do like the rejection. And I like that we're struggling to get any higher. I like that wick. The wick looks good. What's going on, Philly? Can we break below 59 again and continue to the downside? I don't like the green dot on the momentum wave, but I do like that. It almost looks like the RSI is avoiding the moving average. We'll see what happens, but it looks okay for now. ETH is up 0.93% on the day since the daily close. We're currently sitting at 31.62, right below 31.75. Not that that is a completely relevant point besides that random dude making a call several months ago. I'm liking the wick. We got some buy pressure scooping up the ETH as it gets sold off. We do have a confirmed red dot on Market Cipher so far at the Pico top. So we want to get above that and invalidate it. For now, though, volume looks decent. RSI looks very similar to Bitcoin's. We'll see where that ends up going. If this thing gets above 3,200 and closes tomorrow above 3,200, that'd be ideal. Solana's up 0.38% on the day since the daily close. We seemingly rejected again our upper trend line, the blue trend line, from this legacy wedge that we've pointed out 1,000 times. I like that we're holding our neckline support from that inverse head and shoulder way back in the past as well. That resulted in new all-time highs. I just noticed this is kind of like a little triple bottom, almost like a descending broadening wedge as well, which I believe usually breaks bullish, so we'll see. Billy said, JJ, my wife has a confirmed red dot on her thing. Damn. You should probably get that checked out. We do have a confirmed green dot on Solana, which is still in play. That came about on Monday, and that was at the Pico bottom. So maybe it played out already. But, yeah, we do have a red dot in the momentum wave pointed to the downside from the Pico top right here. Not on the overall indicator, just on the momentum wave, though, so not the end of the world. I would like to get above the blue trend line in order for me to flip mega bullish on Solana. I would like to get above 143.31-ish. Do you guys remember Radio Shack? I miss Radio Shack. I don't know why I just thought of that. I remember going in there and just browsing. They had, what was it called? It was called like X Factor or something. These sick remote control cars, and they were like fully module. You could completely upgrade every aspect of the car, or even just change it. You change the body, the rims. There was like spoilers and stuff that you could add. It was so cool. Jay Shear said, "Sup family, what's going on, Jay Shear?" Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, "Philly, I'm annoyed with Zebek. No reaction with this recovery." Philly said, "Please show the triple bottom." I only see 2 bottoms, not the third. It's right here. You got 1, 2, 3. And you could actually, well, no, actually, I was gonna say you could sell that as inverse head and shoulders, but these are at the same level, so you cannot. I would have been lying if I would have said that. But Radio Shack was awesome. Their drawers of resistors, etc. I don't know why they went out of business. I don't know how did they mismanage so much? And maybe I'm just in an echo chamber because I enjoyed it so much. So I'm like, oh, everybody else should have enjoyed it too. People might have not have enjoyed it. I don't know. No clue. Total 3 is up 0.16% on the day, currently trading at 881.76. We are back below 883, which makes me a little bit sad. But maybe it's a little breakout retest confirmation thing. It'd be kind of cool. Obviously, time will tell. I would like to get back above 883. It's not the end of the world, but it is the end of our little bullish copium scenario. You know what would really suck is if this turned into a triple bottom as well. You know when people freak out if we did that? People would freak out. Imagine like not selling here, getting up here, and you're like, I knew it was a bad idea to sell, and then it goes back down there again. Every single time it happens, you got to be asking yourself, man, did I make a mistake? Not selling up here? Not selling up here? Not selling up here? You know. And then eventually it goes, bam, the opposite direction, and you will have sold the bottom. Jay Shu said, I miss Radio Shack, Blockbuster, Fry Electronics, RIP. I was having a conversation. Oh, I kind of spoke with and hung out with Charles Hoskinson's last night in the dong space. It was pretty sick. It's recorded if you guys want to go listen to it. It was pretty cool. We were having a conversation before he showed up, though, about Walmart. My buddy Zach is not a fan of Walmart, and I was like, you do know that they're the largest employer in the United States, and he's like, they don't pay their employees that well, and I think that they do. Regardless, though, my experience with the mom and pop shop that Walmart is supposedly like putting out of business is these mom and pop shops price gouge, and like really, really bad, and it makes me never want to shop there. And it's not like, oh, you know, I have to pay a little bit more because they have to pay a little bit more and I'm supporting a local business. It's like, oh, they're charging me twice what this costs for them. So why would I shop here? Like, support small businesses and stuff. That's cool. But you can't act like a small business and be like, oh, we're the little guy, charge twice as much, and then expect other little guys, because majority of people don't make that much money, to pay twice as much for something at your store. So, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Billy said, went out of business because they didn't have things people wanted anymore. Nobody goes to Radio Shack for phones. Nobody buys remote control cars. Nobody buys laptops there. It was an awesome store. That's fair. That actually makes a lot of sense. I went there. I bought my first Apple TV at the Radio Shack, the local Radio Shack, like probably a month or two before it went out of business, which is crazy to think about. Anyways, we're getting off on tangents. Total 3 looks good. ADA, it looks okay. If you count the wedge, then it looks like it's in a good spot. We got our fake out, double fake out, break. Hopefully we're doing a retest, support, confirmation, continuation to the upside. That would be ideal. We do have a confirmed red dot at the Pico top right here, though, on Market Cipher. So we'll see if this thing, who knows where it's going to go, if it decides to break down and become uber bearish. I would love for it to hold above 42. Obviously, only time will tell. We did get a bearish cross over the moving average and the RSI. And, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. 42 hopefully holds. Snack is currently at 0.33% on the day. I don't know if I should say anything yet, but I am in touch right now with the Snack team, and I'm hoping to get them on for an interview on the channel maybe next week. Obviously, nothing's set in stone yet, but we're in discussions right now. goal. So the two at the top of my list is the snack team and Charles. And I spoke with Charles yesterday, and I filled out the necessary paperwork to schedule an interview with him. So hopefully that comes to fruition as well. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm also very, very tired. And I don't know if it's because I was up late as hell in the dong space, just like chilling with everybody. It was a long night. It was fun though. It was a lot of fun. XRP. Not doing a whole lot. Currently sitting at 210. We rejected 222. And we're looking for our next support level. Hopefully 210 even holds. It does look like we had a little bit of a support bounce off of that with this wick. But we're currently sitting at 210.29. Very much in the middle of our range. I don't know. Is this establishing some kind of a trend line here? No? It's just weird. Market's indecisive right now, I'm assuming because next week rate cuts. Somebody, was it Gourmet Brands Brooklyn? Today is a full moon, guys. Leading into the full moon, according to the full moon cycle thing, the full moon leading into the full moon is supposed to be bearish. And then going into the new moon is supposed to be bullish. So now that we've hit the full moon, the runway is open. Billy said, people are so wrong to bash Walmart. They give jobs to so many under people, including undereducated people. It's a place to enter the workforce, but if you last longer than a year, hopefully you give a better wage. I don't think that they pay that bad, though. Last I heard, their managers make like $150K a year. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, did you gift Charles Hoskinson's a Cornerville membership? No. I did not shill my channel at all. I just asked him, how do I go about scheduling an interview? I wasn't trying to be like, can I have money? Will you shout me out? You know, because he probably deals with that all the time. I imagine having money, being in a space like this, people all the time are just always like, oh my gosh, will you shout me out? Will you say, subscribe to JJ's Crypto Corner? Can you tell people to buy Baby Doge? You know what I mean? You remember when Elon first mentioned Doge, and there were people like following him around? They're like, Elon, say Baby Doge, and he says Baby Doge, and they're like, oh, and then they published that video. That shit was so funny. That was good, dude. Good times. What a fun market that was back then. Hopefully we get that again. I think we'll get that in 2026. But just remember, people were like, Elon, say Baby Doge, and he goes, Baby Doge. And they were like, oh, it's so stupid. A cold moon, they're calling it. It is freaking freezing. It's supposed to be single digits here in Michigan. Tishu said, yo, did you see Micron closing the Crucial brand division after 29 years due to AI data center demand? I did not. That's actually crazy. Crucial, like the RAM? Do they only make RAM? I'm sure they make more than just RAM. I feel like I know the name from RAM. Billy said, you actually talked to Charles Hoskinson's typing chat or voice channels. We were in the dong space. You can go listen to it. It's recorded. He just showed up. And Zach thought he was AI at first. It was really funny. But he does that all the time. He really is a man of the people. He just shows up in random spaces online all the time. It's really cool. That's what, I don't know. It's just silly to me. And so many people hate on the guy. And he's like, excuse me. He's like working to better the space as a whole. And people are like, F you, you have money, F you. And he like goes in spaces every single day and like hangs out with everyone. And he goes on live on YouTube and Twitter and like everywhere to like talk about everything every single day. Like he's probably the most transparent, real person in Web3 that I know of, at least. You know, but he has money, so he's the devil. I don't know. People are weird in this space. Like the second you're mildly successful, or even if you're just not angry all the time, I've noticed that as well. If you're not angry and miserable all the time, people dislike you. And it kind of blows my mind. Because why would you ever want to hang out with people that suck ass all the time? You know what I mean? What's going on, G Immortal? Teach you said RAM and solid state drives. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Billy said tonight is our first night in the 20s degrees. That's crazy. Yeah, I've been working outside all week. I was effed up today. I was like sneezing and shit. I don't know if it's because the propane heater was like just blowing. It's not a propane heater, I'm sorry. The kerosene heater was just blowing kerosene in my nose. It was crazy. Okay. XRP, we talked about H bar. Not a whole lot going on. Been consecutive red candles. We're sitting below 14. Getting above that's going to be important. We got a bearish crossover the moving average with a red dot on the momentum wave. Pointing to the downside. We want to obviously try to stay above this bottom from this little Japan carry trade FUD slump. Otherwise, it kind of defeats the purpose of recovering. Billy said, wow, now I want to listen to it. Go check it out. It's here. Let me see. If you guys want to go listen to it, go to Dong Coin Ada on X, and it is right here. The weekly Wednesday Dongcast, 6 hours and 8 minutes. I couldn't tell you when Charles showed up, honestly. He's probably the last 3 or 4 hours. But it was a fun time. It was super chill. All right. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, I remember having a nice bag of Doge, and then Elon flooded Doge on SNL, and then it crapped out and never recovered since 2021. That's crazy, dude. That was the biggest top signal on the planet. Elon talking about Doge on SNL. SWE is up 0.18% since the daily close, currently sitting at 166.14. SWE is one of the coins that looks really good, and that's because it had like this slump, this chop, this slump, and then it really recovered like with vengeance, and it got above this whole area. And now it's just like sitting right at the precipice of the breakout, I'm going to call it. And it's trying to figure out what it wants to do. We did get a confirmed red dot on here as well. So we got confirmed green dot, confirmed red dot. Is it going to just settle somewhere in the middle? That kind of makes the most sense. We'll see what happens. Jay Shear said, I'll never forget that night. What night? Oh, the Doge Elon. Yeah. Billy said, Jesus, you got to work outdoors all day. I keep forgetting what work you do, especially the past week because you had to travel. I've been driving about an hour and a half every single day. Hour and a half there, hour and a half back. The drive is super chill. Yesterday was awful because it was like monsoon blizzard out. And for some reason, the GPS is like, take this dirt road. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm driving in it's like the only dirt road in Michigan that does this. It's like really dramatic hills. Like I'm in New Hampshire or something. And I'm like, where am I? They haven't plowed the road in like 6 years. It was crazy. And my van, the wheels on my van are like this big. So if you like fart on them too hard, you get stuck. It's crazy. It was ridiculous. Billy, I do basically project management is what I'm going to call it. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, that bastard. Tishu said, Micron won't stop my memory production, just not selling directly to consumers through Crucial. That makes sense. They're going to focus on their big customers, follow the money, and F their loyal retail customers that bought their crap. Brand loyalty is kind of a meme. I think I've learned that, like, very recently. I was a hardcore brand loyalist of Intel, actually. And when I built this PC that I'm on right now, everyone was like, don't buy Intel. It's just expensive, overpriced crap. And I was like, but they're the best. I've always had Intel. And they're like, don't do it. And I looked and I was like, wow, this is insanely expensive. And I built an AMD machine and it's beautiful and it was stupid cheap. G Immortal said, JJ, please, your opinion on comp. I feel it will rip out of nowhere. Long accumulation. Philly said, I think comp is dead. If you believe in it, that's all that matters. I will give you my opinion on the chart, though, and what I would do if I had this. Let me go to the daily. It broke below 41 and 44 and 41. And see, I don't hate this because even in this macro bear event that took place here, you still held higher than here. What happened here? June? Nothing. What happened here? December? Nothing. What happened here? June? Nothing. Why is June and December really bad for this coin? Okay, so now my next question is, why is it down so bad compared to what it did before? You're getting, let's see, you got a really big rip, and then it kind of petered out. And every once in a while, you get little baby spikes that look like they're gradually growing. So volume looks really good on a couple of these. Even right here. Is it weird? Check this out. With all of this really sideways, boring, choppy accumulation situation, and it looks sideways because we're way zoomed out. I understand that. Look at how much more volume you have over here than what you had back here. This is like nothing. This is nothing right here. This is everything. There's a crap ton of liquidity over here. So, taking that into consideration, let's get our zoom on. We'll forget about that previous price action because they clearly had a supply situation where I'm assuming most of it's now circulating. Let me go look. Comp. What did I just type? C-O-M-P. Compound is number 129 right now. It is... See, why don't they tell you their max supply? Circulating is 9.96 million. And there's non-circulating wallets. Okay, interesting. Latest balance 10 million. Okay, so maybe the ETH supply is just supposed to be capped at 10 mil? I don't know. Be careful with that. If they print more, then that could really screw it, but it doesn't seem like it's going to, just based on first glance. I mean, how much farther down can it go, really? Obviously, it can go to 0, but that's if it rugs. Do you think it's really going to go down there? If not, then that's all entirely based on your conviction. Now, this 41 to 44 level is clearly the strong, like, median in this entire situation. Look at how much price action you got. This. You got a bunch of chop right here, even more chop right here, and then you get little spike, little spike, little spike. Majority of the price action happens at this like $40 to $50 level. So you're at 34 right now. Good chance you're going to probably try to reclaim at least the $40 level. Confirm green dot, red dot on the momentum wave. I don't see any issues. I don't see any issues with this, to be honest. Hate to ask, but can you look at ACH Alchemy Pay? ACH Alchemy Pay. This is different from the one. Okay. So this bad boy is making new lows. Let me see if there's an older chart. That's not what I wanted. Oh, this is an older chart though. Nice. 2020. Okay, so it has been lower before. It's been near 0. I'm assuming... See, I don't want to just assume that everyone's printing. Volume looks interesting here on this particular exchange. No problem, G Immortal. Let me read the chat really quick. Tishu said, AI bubble keeps going then. Philly said, I hate ripping on other people's favorites, but I don't want to see people lose money in really old assets. Tishu said, Philly, gonna be honest, I have no idea what doodle after saying my name means, lol. Is that a greeting? Gourmet said, you remember Comp USA stores? It sounds familiar. Philly said, it's playing dude. Gourmet, I used to love that store. The best compatible store we have is Micro Center. What bothers me about Micro Center is there's only one like every like 150 square miles. I swear you have to like go seek them out. It's crazy. Alchemy Pay, I remember this being a big one for a short period of time. I'm assuming right here. And now everyone and their brother is trying to catch it. And that's probably similar with Comp. Eventually, there's a good chance that it recovers as long as they don't screw it up. They have to recapture their previous market share, and as long as they didn't print like crazy, they're probably at least capable of getting some of that back. Only issue I see here is it was accumulating higher over time, and then it just recently went, and that's not good. You want to resume this trend as fast as possible. Now, I'm not saying it's never going to recover if it does do this, but you don't want to see that. That sucks. Nobody likes that. And that's going to look bad on the chart, and it's going to make it unattractive to people. Institutions might scoop it up. Do they have anything going on? What's the active developers look like on GitHub? What's their Twitter look like? Twitter's probably my favorite place, and it seems so elementary and stupid, but it's the simplest place to get insight, and that's where most of retail is going to go as well. They're going to see, oh my gosh, these people haven't posted in 3 or 4 days. That's stupid. I'm not going to buy this. Or, oh, they post every single day, multiple times a day. They got a bunch of marketing campaigns going on. There's a hackathon. There's an ecosystem being built. There's like a whole thriving community here. I'm going to buy this. You want to look into that stuff. So, chart, you want obviously the number to recover. It definitely is suffering since this October 10th situation quite tremendously. So that's going to be a big one for sure. Ondo, my stomach kind of hurts. Ondo is very quiet. See, again, we're getting into the situation where we got this little slump, recovery, big slump, big recovery, and then it's starting to eat into that slump again. You don't want to reclaim this. Otherwise, everyone's going to look and say, what the hell was the point? We should have sold up here. And then the price is probably going to go lower. So you want to get a bounce soon, especially with Ondo. Ondo's been very off-do. Not very Ondo at all, actually. Arrow, on the other hand, Arrow looking really good. Still can't get above 76, of course, because that's where I bought. It's at 70, though. And it looks like it's bouncing. Can it get back above 76 is the question. I like that we had a big fat green candle, and it tried, but it failed at a bearish engulfing. Volume picking up looks nice. We got a bearish cross over the moving average in the RSI, but that's about to flip and cross bullish again. Red dot in the momentum wave, point to the downside. Volume could be a little bit better, but that's specific to KuCoin. I don't mind this chart. I really don't. Pinlink, again, slowly breaking out sideways, the most anticlimactic breakout that ever existed. I do like the bounce on the moving average, though, on the RSI. Red dot in the momentum wave. We'll see where that ends up going. Render, doing the same thing as Ondo, pretty much. Stellar could, actually, if we hold 25, Stellar's got potential to push up. Gourmet said Micro Center never been. There's like 2 stores total between New York and New Jersey. That's what I'm saying. There's like 1 in Michigan. I gotta drive like 4 hours to get to it. Tisha said, I remember Discover Crypto once saying Ondo never below $1 again. Yeah. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your guys' ass. I might, or a joke, but I'm never gonna straight face tell you like this is for sure gonna happen this way, because I really have no idea. And if I do, then I'm joking. Polkadot. And Polkadot's still above the, I'm gonna call it the neckline from the breakdown back here. So that's good. I really want Polkadot though to get back above 250. I think that's gonna be important, because this is like a really long-term support line that we're kind of breaking below right now. And again, nobody wants to see that. So hopefully we can get something going on here. Farcoin still weirdly continuing its rise, which is very interesting. I wonder if this is just gonna, what if Farcoin just takes over? I think I talked about that yesterday. I'm like, wouldn't that be hilarious if Farcoin just became the new world reserve currency? It is interesting to see how much the volume picks up here. Like, what do they have going on here that they didn't have going on here that justifies buying up like crazy at this price? Because this price is the same as all of this price. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's clearly some kind of shift in narrative that's causing people to buy it up like crazy. CAS is up 1.12% on the day, currently trading at 0.055697. Is this a flag of some kind? It might be. We might get a breakout, kind of like silver. Tisha said Polygon, Polkadot, Atom, Gourmet Brand said Ondo, ADA, Algo, HBAR, XLM. The list goes on. All have been such a big disappointment. I'm pretty sure the entire altcoin space, besides Solana and BNB and Ethereum, like those three big boys, made all-time highs. Barely, which is also disappointing in my opinion. But they still made all-time highs. The rest of the altcoin market has not performed yet. So I feel it for sure. Unfortunately, out of that list, Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn, Ondo is the new kid on the block. HBAR, Stellar, especially Stellar, Algo, and ADA have been around for so long. HBAR on the newer side, but they were around last bull market. Ondo, I don't know if they were around last bull market. I just know that they flavor of the week during the bear market, the most recent bear market. And I think that they failed to hold that attention. And that when that happens, you lose the limelight. Sui, I feel, has captured the attention and held it for a long enough period to have some sustainable price action and to keep it that way. Oddly enough, the Dino coins seem to perform well, and I'm assuming it's because they have established communities and ecosystems, and I don't know, that maybe recency bias ruins the image of a lot of these other coins. There's definitely, I would love to see like a psychologist's take on the crypto market. I wish they could just like download someone's brain, someone who has like sat through like multiple bull and bear markets, and look at it and be like, this is what I see for crypto. I think that would be such an interesting take. Tisha said STX also made a new all-time high. Will they be back? STX Stacks? I feel like with all the talks of tokenization, isn't Stacks a tokenized stock? This made a new all-time high? When? Oh, shoot. Okay, that was 2024. That was when Bitcoin was doing its thing. When Bitcoin first broke 100K. Does that make sense? Will they be back? I don't see why not, honestly. This did a Solana right here. And what's crazy is I can literally see the Bitcoin bull market right here. Then this is where it deviates. This is all completely different. Bitcoin kind of continued to do this, and it's probably like right here right now. Whereas something like Stacks deviated tremendously. But Stacks is a derivatives coin, isn't it? They do like derivative markets. So with all the talk of tokenization, I don't see why they can't recapture that market share if they did not print. Printing coins is probably the biggest death that nobody ever looks at. And that's why I like to look at the coin market cap historical thing, because people don't think to look at even the biggest projects like Polkadot, Cardano, Doge. I don't think Doge, but they do still print small amounts. And it's the same kind of unlock schedule as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is printing technically with mining. It's the same thing. Some of them just do it way more than others. Like, I don't know, maybe Render quadrupled their supply. I think Polkadot doubled their supply over the last 4 or 5 years. I think that was a big reason why they're never going to hit their all-time high again. Because if their previous all-time high was like $500 billion, they would have to hit a $1 trillion market cap because they doubled their supply. It's just kind of trippy to think about. Let's see. Avalanche. I think Avalanche looks really good. And I think I'm biased at this point, which I hate saying because Avalanche was one of the few coins that I like hated. I hated Avalanche's guts last bull market because I held it for so long, and it just did this for months and months and months. And I was like, F this. I sold, and it went bam off the screen, like ridiculous valuation. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, Avalanche. And I had so much of it too. I was so pissed. I was like, I hate that stupid coin. Avalanche doesn't even do anything. So I've come full circle. I really like this trend line, this legacy trend line that it's hit a bunch of times. I think it's only hit it like twice in the past. This is the third hit. And every single time, it's like a generational buy opportunity. Jay Shu said, Bitcoin rewards. I had high hopes for it during the bear market. It was coupled with Bitcoin for a long time. I mean, clearly it did great. The Stacks CEO and the CEO of Filecoin are good buddies. That's cute. Tisha said, could be good to stack some stacks. You know what the funnest thing in the world is? When people in crypto like work together and they're like friends. Because they build good stuff then too. Like, it's way more fun to build stuff with your buddies than it is to like build something and like fight again, like compete with somebody. You're like, my thing is better. Instead of being like, dude, check this sick thing out that we made. It's completely different. Like, I feel like cooperation dwarfs competition every single time. But that's just me. Let's see. Avalanche looks great. I'm happy with it. It's at 1450 right now. Can we get back above 15? It does look like we're kind of rejected right here, but you know, who knows? We'll see what happens. Everything kind of looks like it's trying to slump right now. Full moon today, tomorrow may be better. That's gonna be my excuse. Like an alliance? No, because isn't that what's what that one coin did? That looks like crap. What's it called? Fetch. Yeah. Nothing like an alliance. Get out of here with that. That's a bad word. We don't use that word in crypto. Like a cooperative. Like communism. I'm just kidding. I was joking the other day when the market looked like crap. I was like, JJ's communism corner? Question mark. If you guys haven't already, join the Discord. Links in the description. Also, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Chainlink. We're back below 1441. It's not the end of the world. I really like Chainlink, as opposed to, well, not really opposed. Avalanche looks great because instead of like a flat dump recovery, flat dump recovery, flat, it's got dump, beautiful recovery, dump, beautiful recovery. Like, there's actual momentum and volatility here. It actually feels like there's price action taking place. Chainlink, very similar. Dump, recovery, dump, huge recovery. Look at this gap right here. That's a big boy recovery. So now the question is it going to have to come back down, retest continuation? Or are we just trying to test the waters to see if 1441 is going to be support or not? We're breaking below it right now. It looks like we're trying to go back up. Keep in mind, again, we were also incredibly overbought on the 4-hour time frame. We got a red dot on the momentum wave at the Pico top. Or, I'm sorry, confirmed red dot on market cipher at the Pico top. So we'll see if that results in anything either. We got Wix top and Wix bottom, so maybe this is like our median price. 1441 is where we have to linger. Doge is quietly touching the neckline of the Dumperoonie. Near. Really needs to stay above 180. Pengu looks great. Is that a flag? Maybe. Silver. Oof. Silver decoupling from the fractal. Dang, I'm going to have to call my guys and say, what the hell? Guys, you told me this fractal was good. Let's see. Big Rick 9 said I'd buy that. Tisha said I expect some altcoin to pump hard soon. It's going to be impossible to know which, though. And even then, there's no guarantee. Yeah, it's always seems pretty random until the bull market. That's what's great about the bull market, too, is anyone can throw money anywhere, and you just make money. And everyone's like, oh, my gosh, I'm so smart because of this. And instead of being like, you're not even smart, you got lucky, everyone else will be like, oh, my gosh, that's awesome. I'm so smart because of this. And everyone shares why they're so smart. And we all have stupid amounts of money, and we just sit around with our cigars going, ha, 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 laughing like jackasses on our yacht, surrounded by beautiful women. But we're married, so the beautiful women are just there as like a visual. Yeah. And our wife is into that too, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Money does crazy things. Tisha said, yep, I read that. Gold. Gold really can't get above 42, which is interesting because it was foretold. We got support, we got resistance, and we got resistance. But with this little third bout of resistance, it does kind of look like a mini flag coming out of our big daddy flag. Picking up what I'm putting down? Not financial advice. I don't know. 90 is 43 on the table. Time will tell. DXY, boring. I'm gonna call it boring. Strategy, Big B Coffee, 186.11. This thing really can't even have a good day, can it? Hopefully it stays above the moving average on the RSI and we can continue to get some upside. It's down 1.26% on the day. NASDAQ is up 0.29, looking good. The NASDAQ fractal so far playing out perfectly. It looks good going into Christmas. It really does. S&P also playing out perfectly. As Fractal 3.0. Wouldn't you know? It's almost like it plays out the exact same way every single time. And for some reason, people are still surprised. Pick Rick said, I just want to feel smart one time this year with a cigar. LOL. I smoked a cigar on Thanksgiving, and it was delicious. So, that was fun. Dominance. Dominance is chilling. Tisha said, Jay Shear, you can DCA. You DCA STX at these prices? I don't know why I read that like somebody who was offended. I'm sticking with it, though. Bitcoin, 92,658 and 1 penny. Let's get to the news. We've got people swear. This one's great. This one made me laugh. People swear by a 4-year cycle that played out only 3 times. Yet they ignore a 200-year-old Benner cycle that has been right for generations. Which, by the way, in case you guys are not aware, this is calling for 2026, which is what I've been saying since 2024. Weird. That's so weird. Imagine how insufferable I'm going to be if it plays out. TechDev posted liquidity cycle lows have always been the start, not the end. And would you look at that? We've got liquidity cycle lows occurring as we speak. Huge 12 trillion Schwab is about to eat everyone's lunch in crypto. Launching in early 2026, Charles Schwab is finally stepping into crypto, and not in a small way. They're planning to let users trade spot Bitcoin and Ethereum in the first half of 2026, right from the same account that they already use for stocks and ETFs. That's a big shift. Schwab is the platform your parents, coworkers, and financial advisors actually trust. Once they add crypto, millions of people who were hesitant suddenly have a clean, familiar way to buy Bitcoin and ETH without downloading a new app or learning a new process. It's not about who Schwab competes with, it's about how much new money this unlocks. A $12 trillion brokerage giving the green light means more access, more liquidity, and way more people treating crypto like a normal part of their portfolio. This is how the next wave of adoption sneaks in, quietly, then all at once. Let's freaking go. Jay Shu said, not a bad price. LOL, NFA only to stack Bitcoin, though. And Tishu said, that's what I'm thinking, too, but not sure if I want to keep taking risk, LOL. Yeah, it's definitely an evolving beast. Crypto is. You gotta reevaluate frequently, and I feel like I'm okay with that. Not everybody is, so I understand people wanting to take profits and take a break or just step away entirely for forever. You know, it's not for everyone. It is what it is. I thoroughly enjoy it, though. I do. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. There's definitely something wrong, though. This one's a good one as well. Bitcoin bull run cycles, 2013, duration 9 months, reversal after bear trap in month 6. 2017, duration 9 months, reversal after a bear trap in month 6. 2021, duration 9 months, reversal after a bear trap in month 6. 2025, we are now in month 6. What happens in month 6, you say? It looks like in the past it's always been a reversal after a bear trap. Crazy. Who'd have thunk? Binance quote From Alice Liu, the head of research at CoinMarketCap on market cycles. We are going to see a market comeback in Q1 of 2026. February and March will be a bull market again, based on a combination of macro indicators. Hell yeah, I agree. Tishu said, today is full moon. Did anybody mention it? I expect movement soon. We did actually. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn was the one who brought it up initially, and I saw the moon the whole ride home. Was not thinking about crypto, but I was like, wow, the moon looks sick. And Gourmet brought it up. I think he brought it up yesterday too. And I explained the gist of it. The full moon is actually the bearish one. Leading into the full moon is bearish, and then leading into the new moon is bullish. So tomorrow being leading into the new moon, leaving the full moon, there's potential bullish reversal based on the moon cycles if you trade the moon cycles. Some people do, some people don't. Some people think it's a meme. It is what it is. Clement, this guy posts really funny crypto content, like memes and jokes and stuff like that. It's really funny. But he made a good post, and I wanted to read it. The recent crypto dip was so hard for me because it felt like everyone lost conviction. Most people I talked to had little to no crypto exposure, sitting in cash. Thought we were going way lower, lost all conviction in crypto. Most believers, myself included, got absolutely wrecked having conviction in the wrong things, NFTs, memes, random alts, and applied the narrative to the entire market. Applied that narrative to the entire market. If I got wrecked, we have to be in a bear market. When in reality, nothing changed about Bitcoin. Altcoins are going through a violent reality check of why the F should I own this coin? Meme coins are meme coins, and we just have no new retail participants. This is like the games where the winner isn't who runs the fastest. It's who is willing to survive as long as possible. All you have to do is just not completely lose your shit. Make money and put that money into good assets, and you'll have some pretty awesome results. We are seeing that now with the stock market. So it's not a new concept. I think the problem is we lost sight of that when meme coins kind of made people millionaires overnight, and everyone and their brother was like, I can do that. I'm capable of smashing buy on poop coin. And then they go do that, and they don't retire the next day. So they're like, this is a scam. Gourmet Brand said, I think I asked this before, but do you have the moon indicator on your charts? I think I can get it. Tishu said, someone once said that the moon cycle's price movement could be just based on the time between each moon cycle and not the full moon itself. Makes sense? Yes, I think that's why I explained it the way that I did. Leading into the full moon is supposed to be bearish, and then leading into the new moon is supposed to be bullish. And there's almost like a buffer. Think of a buffer around the full moon in the middle. You can have bearish price action anywhere near that, before or after. And then the new moon in the middle, you can have bullish price action before or after, anywhere near that as well. I'm just going to look it up. Bitcoin moon cycles. Moon phases, DXY, full moon and SPY. Moon phases. Okay, I'm just going to go back here. I'm going to turn off Vu Manchu for a moment, and I'm going to look up moon. Moon cycles or moon phases? I'm guessing moon phases? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, see, this is where it's kind of inaccurate because we've got, and somebody could probably give a little more insight on this better than I can, but new moon, you got bullish and bearish, and then full moon, you got bullish and bearish, and then new moon, you got bearish and bullish, and then full moon, you got bearish, bullish, and then new moon, you got bearish, bullish. And then full moon, you got bullish, and what's going to come next? I have no idea. It's kind of a mixed bag when you look at it that way. And maybe somebody who does the moon cycles would be like, well, you can't look at it on the 4-hour, dumbass. You got to look at it on the daily or the weekly or something like that. I have no idea. Would that make a difference? I have no idea. I'm not a moon phases, moon cycle guy, but I don't hate the idea. I'm not gonna laugh at it. It actually makes a lot of sense to me because everyone's like, what did the moon have to do with the markets? The markets are run by people. People are made up of 70% water. The moon controls the oceans, which is made up of water, so it makes sense. I'm not a scientist, though, or like an astrophysicist or anything like that, so you can also make the argument that I'm just an idiot, which is fair. Totally fair. Tishu said, read that. He said, I just expect movement up or down on moon cycles. Yes. Yes. Okay, we read that. Eric Trump's America Bitcoin buys 363 Bitcoin worth 34 million. Let's go. This one's crazy. China's state-owned banks are reportedly buying the US dollar. I thought that was very interesting. The Trump face here cracks me up every time I see it, dude. Russia's second largest bank, VTB, to launch Bitcoin and crypto trading in 2026. Hell yeah. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says sovereign wealth funds are buying Bitcoin. Very nice. CFTC says it has developed a comprehensive plan for the U.S. to reclaim its place as the world leader in crypto. Very cool. Treasury Secretary Bessent says 2026 is going to be a great year for the U.S. economy. Let's frickin' go. CFTC approves first U.S. regulated spot crypto trading on CFTC registered exchanges. Hell yeah. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says tokenization is going to reinvent finance. We know. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says Bitcoin has a large use case. Did anyone see CZ and Peter Schiff? It's all over X right now. They were at some like Binance conference or whatever, and I don't know why Peter Schiff is getting invited to all this crap. He definitely like shoehorned himself in there by being like a universally hated gold bug. And CZ's on stage, and some like teeny bopper chick brings out a little box, and he's talking to Peter Schiff, and he's like, I have this thing I was given to by someone in this country, very prominent figure in this one country, and it's, I don't remember what he said. It was like 1,000 grams of gold, 999.99 pure gold or whatever, and he hands it to Peter Schiff, and he's like, what do you think of that? And Peter Schiff is like, yeah, it's heavy. And then CZ goes, is that real gold? And he goes, I don't know. It was so good, dude. It was so good. He like assassinated his entire character on stage in front of thousands of people. It was pretty epic. Tishu said, not too helpful, I know. I mean, that's crypto, though. Nobody has a crystal ball. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said 2026 is going to be epic. I think I said that for 2025 too, LOL. I feel like 2025 was pretty epic, you know. It might not have been epic in the we all made a crap ton of money kind of way. It was epic in like we all definitely got like whiplash and need to wear a neck brace kind of way. But that's still epic. I feel like epic is a rather universal term. It's fair to call things epic when they may not be 100% positive. White House Economic Advisor Hassett says Federal Reserve will likely cut interest rates next week. Yes. Tom Lee says crypto has bottomed. I agree. Tom Lee. Marty Party posted Elon Musk's bold prediction on AI and the U.S. debt crisis. Elon Musk made this claim in a recent interview as reported by Business Insider on November 30th, 2025, in a conversation with Indian entrepreneur and podcaster Nikhil Kamath on the People by WTF podcast episode released November 30th. Musk argued that artificial intelligence and robotics represent the only viable solution to America's escalating national debt, which he described as insanely high. He predicted that within 3 years or less, AI-driven productivity gains would cause economic output, goods and services, to grow faster than inflation, effectively neutralizing the debt's burden through massively deflationary pressures. That's kind of crazy. Remember when Elon was like scared of AI? Now he's like all over it. It's kind of crazy. Crazy flip-flop. Kobayashi later posted, over the last 72 hours, Apple's AI chief steps down. Apple's head of user interface design leaves to Meta. Apple's policy chief steps down. Apple's head of general counsel steps down. What is happening at Apple? I'm not entirely sure, but this kind of freaked me out a little bit because I'm a bit of an Apple sympathizer. I have a MacBook that I use for like most of my stuff. So I'm not an iPhone guy, but I still care about Apple in general. Affordability of necessities in the U.S. continues to deteriorate. Since January 2021, food away from home prices have surged 28% to an all-time high. Shelter prices have risen 27% over the same period, also setting a record. Food at home and services other than rent have increased 25% and 24% respectively. By comparison, average wages have advanced just 20% over this time. Furthermore, shelter costs have soared nearly 50% since 2015, the steepest 10-year increase since the mid-1990s. Wage growth has failed to keep up with the surging costs of basic necessities. Asset owners are the only winners. Gourmet said it was a good year, not complaining, just very choppy year with tariffs. It said, oh yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy year. Tishu said, is Lunk gonna recover? Have a little pump from a bottom, it seems. Honestly, I might throw $10 in that just as a forever hold, just to see. Wouldn't that be crazy? Epic comeback. Breaking, the U.S. is halting plans to impose sanctions on China's Ministry of State Security in an effort to keep trade talks progressing. President Trump is also reportedly no longer imposing new export controls on China. I thought we already had a deal. How many times are we going to have a deal with China? It seems like every other day we have a deal, and then all of a sudden we don't, and something's wrong. It's a mess. President Trump is preparing to hold high-level talks with China to decide whether to allow NVIDIA to sell H200 chips to the country, per Financial Times. We now have the biggest technological boom since the internet, ongoing Fed interest rate cuts into the AI boom, Trump's impending new Fed chair announcement, $700 billion plus in annual technology capex, the end of quantitative tightening, widespread deregulation initiatives by the SEC, the most market-conscious U.S. president ever, $2+ trillion in annual deficit spending, 13% year-over-year earnings growth in the S&P 500, the return of global fiscal stimulus. What's the bear case here? Damn. Tisha said, look at the chart, king of the shitcoins. Let's take a look. This one kind of makes me sad. Oh, it is recovering though. Dang, okay. What do we got? 6, 7. Okay, so if you would have bought, let's say you buy right here, the average. 14%? Pretty damn good. What? My question is, when does pretty damn good look worth purchasing? Because it was, at one point, we were looking at it 443%. Those people are down 81% from there, which stinks. Yeah, it looks like it has had several attempts at recovery. And it just keeps going down. It's actually, like I said, it makes me sad. Yeah, that's so trippy. That's so trippy what happened with this thing, man. But yeah, I feel like it's worth the gamble. Look at this. Every single time you got a bunch of green dots accumulating, big fat cloud down here, and then you get a boom. You get a boom. And then big fat cloud, boom. I guess that's not a reliable indicator because you got, well, no, you got a big fat cloud down here, and then you get a boom. Big fat cloud. I would not be surprised to see a little boom soon. Not financial advice. I feel like there's plenty of instances like this that can be very profitable to trade. The best example I can think of is Harambe. I had an alert on my calendar for like April or something, like a month or two before his death anniversary. And I was like, damn, I'm going to buy some Harambe. And I like front ran my own alert because I accidentally saw it like 2 weeks early. And I was like, oh shoot, I'm going to go buy some Harambe right now. And I literally doubled my money in like 2 weeks, just making a stupid bet on a thing that comes up every single year based on internet culture. And I feel like Lunk may be something like that. Maybe not with a calendar in particular, but you can see the signs of, the bearish momentum builds up and then there's a bullish pop. Bearish momentum builds up and then there's a bullish pop. Bearish momentum builds up. Eventually there's going to be a bullish pop. History demands it. That's just the nature of things. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. People sell like crazy. Eventually there's going to be a dead cat bounce. And there can be multiple dead cat bounces all the way down to zero. So it doesn't matter where the price is. What matters is what percentage returns you can make off of it. And that is 1000% coming from a place of greed and possibly gluttony. But I don't care. It's crypto. What are you in crypto for? Gourmet said AI. First they reject it, then they accept it, then they adopt it. Whatever that saying goes. I believe it's first they mock you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win, or something like that. First they fight you, then they mock you and laugh at you, and then you win. Something like that. I don't remember. I've looked it up 1,000 times. I feel like it's different every time I look it up too. U.S. small business employment is collapsing. This goes into the Walmart thing that I was talking about earlier. U.S. small firms cut 120,000 jobs in November, the most since May 2020, according to the ADP employment report. Companies with 1 to 19 employees cut 46,000 jobs, while those with 20 to 49 cut 74,000. This also marks the sixth monthly decline over the last 7 months. During this period, employment at small firms has dropped 264K. As a result, the 3-month average dropped to minus 59,333, the weakest reading since the 2020 pandemic. More rate cuts are coming. Tishu said it might be safer to wait for the big pop, and when it starts to go down, open a short for a little while. If you have a platform where you can do that, probably. Kobe later posted, just in, Trump accounts will feature tax-free contributions with hundreds of major companies set to contribute. 25 million kids will now receive $1,000 from the Trump admin, $250 from Michael Dell, and all tax-free contributions made to these accounts. This will provide trillions of dollars to kids if invested until age 20 plus. That's pretty sick. I also genuinely believe that this is going to pump the market like crazy, because all that money is just going to get injected into the market. Breaking: AMD CEO Lisa Su announces that the company will pay a 15% tax on MI308 chip exports to China. Last night, reports emerged that President Trump is considering allowing NVIDIA to sell their H200 chip to China. This is beginning to sound like a lot like the NVIDIA and AMD deal with President Trump, which was rumored on August 10th. Under the August 10th rumored deal, NVIDIA and AMD could export certain AI chips to China for a 15% tariff. If the U.S. AI chip market even partially reopens to China, it could be the market's biggest catalyst of the year, especially as NVIDIA has almost entirely written off their China business in recent guidance. AI chip policy could change very soon. That'd be pretty sick. Pickerick said they should give us 1,000 also, right? Tishu said, oh, that's right. It's been delisted from some exchanges. I believe so. I could be wrong. I've had trouble. What was it? There was something I was recently like, oh, I should buy that. And I looked and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I don't remember. Was it Zcash? I think it was Zcash. I couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, what the hell? Why can't I buy this? Central banks are ramping up gold purchases. I'm not going to read into that, but they're buying gold. Polymarket announces the launch of MetaMask's mobile app, introducing prediction market app built with Polymarket's infrastructure. That I thought was huge. I'm surprised MetaMask doesn't have their own token. The CFTC now permits spot crypto trading on its registered exchanges, marking a major regulatory shift. This one, for some reason, surprises me, and maybe it's because I don't see so much about it really at all. Apparently, Kalshi leads prediction markets in November. Kalshi led prediction markets in late November with 1.21 billion in volume, edging out Opinion and Polymarket as investor interest surged. It just seemed not correct to me, but who knows? Am I reading this wrong? I guess so. There's a weird chart. Next, we got CNBC and Kalshi announce an exclusive multi-year partnership that will integrate Kalshi's real-time prediction market data across CNBC's TV, digital, and subscription platform starting in 2026. I think prediction markets are going to be the next big thing. I mean, they kind of already are, but we're starting to see it play out now. Alert, the latest analysis explains that crypto market capitulation happens when liquidity evaporates, excessive leverage triggers cascading liquidations, and investor sentiment flips to panic. And that has been happening so much more frequently. And it kind of blows my mind every time people are like, why is this happening? Who's selling this? Doesn't make any sense. It's leverage every single time. It's just, I don't know why people are surprised. Kevin, this one's funny. Kevin Hassett says he believes a rate cut is likely at the next Federal Reserve meeting. I talked about this. Once they announce who they think it's going to be, people are only ever going to pay attention to what that person says. And now that's exactly what's happening here. Why would we need to know what this guy thinks? We've already heard what everybody else thinks. And Powell's going to be the one that makes the decision. So the only reason it makes sense is that he's probably going to be the next guy. Or they think that right now. So they're telling you what he said. And that's what people are going to start to pay attention to. Revolut, Europe's largest neobank with over 65 million users, has added support for Solana payments, transfers, and staking. That's huge. Polymarket traders now give a 61% chance that MicroStrategy will be delisted from the MSCI index by March 31st. That one was kind of crazy to me. Trump repeated that the United States will pay down its debt using tariff revenue. Hell yeah. ETH BTC broke out of its 3-month downtrend. This is ultra bullish for altcoins. 3-month long downtrend, breakout, pending. Very cool. And last but not least, we've got U.S. Treasury buying back $2 billion of their own debt, making a total of $14.5 billion this week. Pretty crazy stuff. Bitcoin 92, 530, and 87 cents. Portfolio update. The 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is currently down $471, 47.1%. None of these assets are in green. Starting from the bottom, Aptos is currently down 69. Nice. Fetch is down 68. Render is down 54. Ondo's down 51. Proppy's down 49. Shib is down 44. ADA is down 43. Near is down 41. Doge is down 40. And Sol is down 17. Then we've got the meme coin portfolio, currently down 555. That is 55.5%. None of these assets are in the green either. Starting from the bottom, GigaChat is down 163. Snack is down 133. Yep. Pepe is down 100. Whip is down 86. And Doge is down 75. Then the narrative portfolio, my favorite and the most stable, currently down 186, which is, let me do the math, 37.2% in the red. None of these assets are in the green either. Starting from the bottom, Fetch is down 58, VeChain is down 52, Mana is down 45, Pepe is down 32, and Tau is down 1. Less than 1, actually, 0.26. And then last but not least, we've got the perfect entry portfolio, which is currently down 384, which is 38.4%, which is just below, or just above the narrative portfolio. So the narrative portfolio is just barely outperforming. None of these assets are in profit either. Starting from the bottom, Render is down 59, Avalanche is down 58, Pith is down 54, Graph is down 47, Sui is down 47, Ondo's down 46, Crow is down 31, Sol is down 23, ETH is down 18, and Link is down 6. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin, $92,555.96. We are chilling. I am a very, very sleepy boy, so I hate to do this early, but I am going to call it an evening. Market's not doing too much, but if it does start to go crazy, I will definitely stop what I'm doing. I will wake up out of a dead sleep and I will get on because that's what we do here. As always, guys, when Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Thursday and good night. We're going to plan a 12-hour live stream soon. It's been a long time, so we got to do one before Christmas. Good night.